At cazenove+loyd we come from a tailor-made background, so although every escorted journey is at the core a group trip, we're very much geared up to look after the individual within the small group setting. We also work with partners on our escorted journeys who we work with day in, day out in the rest of the business. So we know them and we trust them. A good example of this was a trip through South Africa with Rovos Rail this year. Their train is truly spectacular and very luxurious, and we work with them on their regular routings all of the time. But to bring on board a speaker of the calibre of Michael BUERK to give his insight throughout and to tie it in with a routing to take in the Boer and Zulu battlefields is something that we could only do by chartering the whole train. And it's the same when we charter a small boat in somewhere like Burma or in the Galapagos. So we can gather together a group of like-minded clients and also set up amazing events and dinners en route. And with guides and access of world-class calibre, it means that every escorted journey is a true one-off.
Well, I love South Africa. I worked here as a BBC correspondent during the dark times and the difficult times in South Africa, and I just absolutely love coming back here to see what's happening, to see all these wonderful bits of South Africa on a luxury train. What's not to like?
Having had Michael BUERK on board has just been the icing on the cake, and he's really enriched the client's experiences with his stories of when he was here covering the whole apartheid regime, and then also as he sees South Africa today.
When I saw in the Daily Telegraph that they were doing this trip to South Africa on Rovos Rail from Pretoria to Durban via Natal and Swaziland, I signed up immediately. We have had the most interesting, fascinating time.
I always know when we get people from cazenove+loyd that they are going to be wonderful people because of the relationship that we've built up with cazenove+loyd over the last 25 years, and that they are delightful people. Most of our guests end up arriving as guests and leave as friends.
And the people who come are not only having a holiday experience, a really nice holiday experience, but they want to know some sort of context. They want to know, how this place happened, what's happening now, what's going to happen in the future. So I think there's more of an appetite to know things rather than just experience things.
Wherever we've gone with cazenove+loyd, the guides have been absolutely top rate.
A number of our guests leave here in tears at what happened and what happened to a lot of these men afterwards. Not necessarily what happened during the battle, but here is a hero who saved countless lives in this battle, who's just thrown out after the campaign.
Their choices of where to go and where to stay and what to do. What can I say? Henrietta and cazenove+loyd have opened up my life.
So in 2017 we're chartering this amazing train again, but this time starting off in Victoria Falls. The food and service on board will be as superb and friendly as it was on our recent trip to South Africa. But this time the routing is even more pioneering, opening up a journey which Rovos have not done for a decade. From Victoria Falls through Zimbabwe and into South Africa. This is Africa with all its vibrancy, variety and rawness, but seen in unparalleled comfort from a private train. Jeremy Paxman will be with you in Victoria Falls and will set the stage for an incredible trip. I travelled with Jeremy a few years ago in South America, and his knowledge and insight is second to none. His book on empire has a particular resonance to any trip to any former British colony. But on board the train and at stops en route, we'll also have historians and guides with an even more particular focus. Few will forget their visit to Great Zimbabwe ruins with a historian of the stature of the Daily Telegraph's archaeological expert Paul Hubbard. And Nicholas Schofield will be on board to bring to life the likes of Bulawayo and Cecil Rhodes' grave in the Matopos. And you will also have great game viewing en route, particularly in Hwange National Park, when game vehicles and safari guides will get you in front of some of the finest and most diverse game in southern Africa. Elephant and lion are particular highlights in the park. Like all our escorted journeys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and some guests from the South African charter in 2016 with Michael BUERK are already joining us. So Zimbabwe in 2015 should be even more of an adventure.